Welcome, Hornet Nation, to New Hope, Minnesota, where your Bantam Hornets will be taking on Champlin Park in Game 1 of the New Hope tournament. We just played Champlin Park in a scrimmage up in Brooklyn Center, but this is for real, this is for keeps, so we expect a lot more efforting from the Hornets tonight. Wi-Fi is a little bit sketchy in this arena, so if something goes wrong with the stream, just text somebody and they're usually pretty good about getting us a message. So, we're moments away from puck drop, and we'll be back. All right, we're going to start out with Nolan Ferrara and Ivany, backed up by Bauer and Helmer. And away we go. Bauer from the backside throws it up to Nolan, steals across the line. He's rolling in. He's got Ferrara. And on the firing first shot of the game is salted away by the Rebel tender. As some of the Hornet fans have already Champlin Park cycles behind the cage as they look for space to break out. Rolling now through the neutral zone, disrupted by Nolan, who pitches it back up the wall. Rebels now looking to send it down deep into the Hornet territory, where Helmer picks up from the corner, and now with speed, rolling up through the Hornet zone. He's being attacked as he throws it up to Ferrara. Ferrara across the line, doing some fancy toe dragging. As the boys battle into the corner, and Champlin Park looks to break. All the way from the end line, Champlin throws it across ice. Now they're going to gain the line and work their way in. Swept aside by Potter. Rebels now working on the near side wall as they look for an outlet pass. Potter from the very backside throws it around to Potts. Potts fires it up to Ferrara. Ferrara now drives it up to Nolan. Just a bit too hot to handle. And the Rebel tender sends it up ice. Ivany doing a good job disrupting play as Potter blasts it down into the Rebel end. No score in this contest if you're joining us. Dorsey from the backside centers it out front. Hester just couldn't find the wood on it. Boys battling in the corner. Can you respond to Colin? So we get a line change. We got Nolan, Kurvita, and Hester. So that must be that must mean Bergmeyer is out for this contest. Oh no, we have a power play. So, from the backside, I'm all confused. Nolan drives into the circle, fires a shot. It's out front, they're banging. And it's saved. Bauer was right on the doorstep as the Hornets are on a power play with 13-11. I dropped my phone, so I missed that entire infraction. I don't know what the guy went off for, but nonetheless. So Nolan throws it back to Hester, sends it to Bauer on the line. Walking away is across. He gets it to Mizzle. Mizzle fires it down low, steered aside. As the Hornets look to gain possession. Rebels doing a good job keeping the Hornets to the outside. Throwing it up the near side wall. Picked up by Bauer, looks at his options. Loses the handle a little bit, now he's mauled. Mizzle holds the line from the corner. All the way across, now driving in. Nolan sends it down to Hester. Hester in the circle, right up front, upstairs! Nolan couldn't find the back of the net. Now Bauer, looking, sends it all the way down to Mizzle. Mizzle from the corner. Drives it. Works and tried to throw it over to Kavita tried to throw it over to Mizzle. Lost the handle. And Mizzle throws it all the way up on the boards just beyond Bauer's reach. And Hester tried to swat at it. Boy, the Hornets just having trouble finding possession. So Rebels throw it up on the wall. Nolan boxed down on that play. Couldn't quite get to the puck as the Rebels chip it out of the zone. And Darlene now from the neutral zone sweeps around. Looks for an outlet pass. He's going to take it himself as he rolls across the line. Now driving in around the dot, looking to center, all the way around the cage. More centering. Back to Ewers at the point. Ewers looks. Now he drives in, stops short. Into the high slot for Darlene. Darlene drives in, fires a shot, and he hits the Rebel tender right in the cage. Now transitioning. Rebels rolling now, shorthanded, drop pass, intercepted by Darlene. Now it's swallowing through, right in the front of the net, and he was denied. Too much pressure. The Hornets got to be careful. As Ivany looks to blast it up the wall, the Rebels just chip it right back down on the wall as Ewers lays his man into the glass. Ivany taking a run at his man. Now, Ivany rolls up, runs into Bergmeyer's zone traffic as he plays from his knees. Now Berge across the line, driving down all the way around the cage, looking. He swatted off the puck. It comes away to Wilkins. Wilkins now looking for options. Back to the point. Potts gets it to Ivany. Ivany driving in. Ivany looking. Back to Potter. Potter from the point. A low shot. Saved by the Rebel tender. As Bergmeyer puts his man into the glass. Now Rebels go cross ice. Intercepted there by Potts, who throws it right back down. Rebels at full strength. Wilkins now tried to center it out front. And it's blasted out of the zone, and we should get an icing. No score, 10:29 on the clock. Both teams have had golden opportunities, but the Hornets are pressing. As Dorsey, Ewers, and Hester roll on, backed up by Potts and Potter. Dorsey on the draw, sends the puck behind the net, and the Rebels blast it around the far side. Looking to bring it out, it's contained by Potts, and the Rebels reset, cruising through the neutral zone. They gain on the right side, rolling into the high slot, dropping it on the circle, disrupted by Hester. Well done, as Hester looks across ice, looking for an outlet. He's going to take it himself and just pitch it down into the Rebel end. From the backside, Rebels looking to gain possession as Dorsey in there, disrupting plays, throws it out front to Hester. Hester fires! Didn't quite get the wood on it. Nice connection, but no pay dirt. So we swap out the D, bringing in Bauer and Helmer. Dorsey's set. Throws it across to Hester. Hester right there, trying to weave his way through, trying to rattle front. Dorsey, no! Yes! Ewers on the backside. Puts it home, and the Hornets are up 1-0 with 9:50 in the first. A nifty little rebound shot there by Ewers. So we got Nolan, Ferrara, and Ivany. Helmer from the backside, looks up, gets it to Nolan. Nolan now sweeps around the neutral zone and just pitchforks it down just beyond Ivany, and we get an icing. So that'll bring it down into the Hornet end for a face-off. Puck tied up on the dot, comes away to Ivany. Ivany with speed through the neutral zone. He's going to gain on the left side, rolling in with Ferrara. Toe drags around and deflected away by the Rebels. Rebels pounding in the corner, trying to gain possession. Ivany comes away, works across the line, all the way around the cage, looking for an outlet. Sends it back to Bauer at the point. Bauer looks, slides it to Helmer. Helmer looks, back to Bauer. Bauer fires a shot, and it's deflected before it hits the net. Rebels pinned down deep in their territory as Helmer pinches up on the wall. He's knocked down. As they're mauling him, Nolan's in to help out. Comes away to Ivany. Ivany tries to toe drag it around, and it's picked off by the Rebels, and they disrupted there by Helmer, and it's picked up by, now it's back to Ferrara. Ferrara wheels his way around the hornet end. Looking up, he's doggedly pursued by a Rebel. Now, up to Nolan on the near side wall, sliding it to Ferrara. Ferrara's going to gain the line. He rolls in on the circle, firing a shot, and it just sailed over the net. Nolan holds his own from the point, throws it right back down deep. Rebels having a tough time gaining possession as they cycle around the cage now with speed, tilting the ice back in their favor as they roll down and gain on the right side, driving around the circle, looking to center. A shot turned away by Bambury. Curvy on the wall, trying to work it up. Pressed right back down to Darlene. Circles the cage, now with speed. Up to Wilkins at the red line. Wilkins cycles through, across the blue line, swept away, but he's still on it. Pitches it down behind the net. Curvita now, looking. Slides to Wilkins. Wilkins from the corner. Around the circle, slides it across. There it is. Oh, and Bergmar couldn't find the handle. Back to the point, intercepted before it got there. Wilkins in on the puck. Trying to work around his man. The Rebels punch it right back and try to drive it up the wall. Now it's free in the slot. Bergmar rolling on the dot. Looking. All the way, high slot. Over to Darlene. Quick shot. Waffled away. Now the Rebels punch it all the way down, and we'll get an icing. With 7:23 on the clock, and your Hornets up 1-0. So Dorsey, Hester, Ewers on, backed up by Potts and Potter. Dorsey on the drop, tied up on the dot. Rebels punch it behind the cage, look to break out. Looking up ice, a long, sharp pass. Icing call off. Potter would be the first man back. He looks from the corner, banks it up the wall, tries to get it to Hester. Now stolen away by the Rebels, working in on the dot, firing. Hits Potter. Rebels from behind, looking. From the corner on the wall, shot sails wide. Now from the near side, trying to work it on down low. Potter ties up his man. Puck snakes up to Hester. Hester loses the handle. And the Rebels regroup from their own end. Intercepted. Ewers tried to dish it up to Hester. Now the Rebels come back with numbers. Throwing it on net. Banking it aside. Potter slides it around the net. Long stretch pass on the backside of Hester. He couldn't get it. A shot off the dot, right out front, banging. It's cleared out of the zone, and the Rebels will chase this puck on its end. Long stretch pass as the Hornets are changing across the line. Helmer is there to push his man aside. Nolan from behind the cage. Slides it up to Ivany. Ivany on the wall, rejected as Bauer now pitches it up. Here's a break. It's Hester and Nolan. Nolan works it across. Oh, and it was Hester. Oh, it just tipped off the end of his stick. No puck luck there. Champlin Park from the corner, sliding it back behind the cage, looking. Long stretch pass. Now trying to work through the neutral zone. They gain on the left side and pound it down, but they are indeed offsides with 5:47 on the clock. So Nolan, Ivany, Ferrara on the line, backed up by Bauer and Helmer. Champlin from the backside, they pitch it down into the Hornet end. And we get an ice. Nolan on the draw. Ivany works it on the wall. He's pushed into the glass. They punch it back, but Ferrara is there, sliding it rink wide to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice. Long waffle stretch pass on the backside of Ivany. Champlin Park blows a tire. Here's an up short, wheels around, looks for an outlet. He's pinned to the wall. Losing the handle, but he somehow gets it down to Nolan, who's just beyond his stick. Ferrara in, disrupting play. Now it's in the high slot, and Nolan sends it right back down into the Rebel end. From behind the cage, Rebels roll up on the near side. Long stretch pass, intercepted. Bauer now sliding it up. Nolan chases into the zone. We get an icing. So Bergmeyer, Wilkins, Kervita, Darlene, Mizzled. From the backside, Darlene sends it to Mizzled. Mizzled looks up ice. Long stretch pass, a bit too hot for Bergmeyer, and this is going all the way down for another icing. 4:37 on the clock in the first. Hornets up 1-0. So we'll do it again. Off the draw, Rebels send it back to the point. A firing shot. Oh, and a tip out front. Almost sent it to the back of the net. Boys working it up on the near side, trying to gain possession. Comes away to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer turns, throws it up the wall to Wilkins. Wilkins tries to get it, and boy, the Rebels are pressing hard as Wilkins powers his way through. Picked up right in the slot, working their way around. Darlene keeping his man to the outside. Now a break for Kervita. Kervita rolling. He's got one man to beat. Kervita rolling in. Oh, and he couldn't find the centering pass. And we got a slashing call. The Hornets will be on the power play. So, Bergmeyer, Ivany, Wilkins, Ewers, Darlene. Just under 4 to play. Ewers now on the wall. Looks, drives in on the circle. A firing shot legged away by the Rebel tender as they punch it out of the zone, and the Hornets will have to reset. Ewers throwing it to Darlene. Missed on the connection, and the Hornets drive it back deeper in their own zone. Fancy with their passes. Ivany now, he's going to gain on the right side. From the wall, looking. Patience. On the high slot, sliding it down to Darlene. Darlene fires. A low shot, a rebound. And Ewers couldn't get to it, and it's back all the way down. For an icing. So Ivany's going to take the draw this time. Puck tied up on the dot. Ewers comes in from the point, snakes away. Now rolling into that slot, high slot, looking for options. Champlin holding the Hornets to the outside. Sliding back to Darlene. Ivany from the point, looks. Fires a shot. Wilkins from the side. Now Ewers in, right in the centering slot. Nice little connection there with the Wilkins. But no pay dirt as Darlene races back. It's got a lot of company as the Rebels are pressing hard. Now with speed, rolling through the neutral zone. Darlene across the line, tries to drive in. Now looking around the cage. Not finding an outlet pass as he wheels across the high slot. A one-time shot by Ivany hits traffic, and the Rebels punch it up the near side wall. Darlene is there. He throws it right back down. Potts. Now into the high slot. Darlene fires. Sticked away by the Rebel tender. On the wall, Potts wheels, deals. Throws it down. Ivany tries a short side stuffer. Or that was Wilkins. No pay dirt. Ivany from the far side. Looks. Cycles around right on the line. Down to Potts. Potts throws it across. Darlene! Oh, he couldn't find the handle. Yes, he did find the handle. Did you see it? He snuck right around. And Wilkins finds the back of the net with 2 minutes on the clock. And now both teams at full strength. Puck sent into the Hornet end. Potter from behind the cage throwing to Potts. Potts sends it back to Potter. Potter now looking for an open lane. Sends it up to Dorsey. Snakes it through. Still powering through. And the Rebels return the favor and throw it right back down. Potter jamming it up on the wall. Rebels trying to hold the zone. Now it comes away to Hester. Hester cruises through. He gets into Ewers. Ewers driving in. And Ewers loses the handle. All the way back. Now Rebels tilting the ice with numbers. 3-on-2, gaining the line and pitching it down deep. Potter sends his man up on the wall. Dorsey picks it up. Shovels it across to Ewers, and he gets run into some traffic. And the Rebels push it right back down. So we approach the final minute of play in the first. Rebels sliding it out front, just behind Ewers' back. Ewers looks up, throws it up the wall. Here's a break for Hester, rolling in. He's going to get boxed out as icing is called off. Champlin Park, long stretch pass up to the red line, sliding it across, intercepted by Ivany. Ivany gains the line, rolls in. He's going to fire a shot. There it is. There's the rebound. Champlin. What? As it's thrown down and we get an icing. So Nolan, Ferrara, Ivany, Bauer, Helmer. Bauer at the point. Throws it down to Ivany, who goes all the way back and sneaks out of the zone. And Helmer has to reset. Bauer throwing it up to Ivany. Ivany slamming it down into the Rebel end. Ferrara pursues, tries up his man, and the Rebels are held down deep. Now breaking out, disrupted by Ivany, sliding across the high slot. Nolan looks, fires, sticked away by the Rebel tender. From the corner, Rebels having a hard time breaking out. As now Ivany walks across the circle, tried to toe drag with 1 second left. That'll do it. And that's the way the period ends, with the Hornets up 2-0 in this opening game of the New Hope tournament. All right, we're going to start out with Nolan, Ivany, and Ferrara backed up by Mizzelt and Darlene. Fresh 15 on the clock, and away we go. Hornets up 2-0. Nolan in, tried to steal the puck, comes down to Ferrara in the corner. Back to Darlene at the point. A firing shot is tracked away by the flashing leather of the Champlin Park Rebel tender. So we'll do it again. Off the draw. Ivy works it on the wall and sends it down behind the cage. Champlin Park meets our men back behind and now counter with a breakout. Rolling through the neutral zone, through the red line, through the blue line, sliding across, and it hits traffic. No connection on that pass, and we get an offsides. So Bergmeyer, Wilkins, Kravita, Bauer, Helmer. Off the draw, Rebels now work to contain it from the backside, sliding it across the ice. Kravita disrupts play, gets it down to Bergmeyer in the corner. Bergie looking, he's tied up. Kravita in to help out. Comes away to Bergmeyer back to the point. Bauer fires a shot and it hits traffic. Kravita meets his man right in the corner. As Champlin now tries to work it out of the zone. They do. Now, through the red line, pitching it up on the wall, and it's Helmer first man back. He cycles behind the cage, looks up, blows a tire, as Champlin now tries to steal one, but it's Bauer to the rescue as he throws it up on the wall to Wilkins. Wilkins all the way across, led his man a bit far, and the Rebels contain from the backside. Long stretch pass up the wall is going to be intercepted by Wilkins. He's going to gain. He's going to try to work his way through, powering it. Now, curling, whirling, picked up by the Rebels. Nice little interception there, right up front. Banging, more banging. Kravita could not get it in. Hats off to the Rebel tender for thwarting that massive assault. As Dorsey, Hester, and Ewers roll on with Potts and Potter. Off the draw, Rebels now work it behind their cage and look for daylight. Seeing none, they slide back the other way. Good job by Hester to disrupt play. Ewers trying to roll out front. Back to Potts. Chipped off at the last second. The Rebels trying to blow out of the zone. They can't do it. Ewers does a good job forcing his man back. Now Hester throwing it up on the wall. Ewers throws it right back down. Hester hops his stick. Looks for options. Back to Potts at the point. Hot pass. Potts does a good job pinching up. Now Hester driving in. Curls, looks, turns, burns. Back to Potts. Potts fires. And it's scooped away by the Rebel tender once again with 12:47 on the clock. Dorsey on the drop, trying to sweep it back. He's tied up, and the Rebels try to punch out of the zone. Potts holding the line and throwing it right back down off the end wall. Champlin cycles around to the far side and looks for an option, looks for a lane. Now, with numbers, rolling through the neutral zone, gaining on the right side, firing it across eyes, passes a little hot. Rebels punch it down deep. Potter on the puck. Works it, throws its man. Champlin trying to get possession to center as they throw it right back down to the near side. Ewers, first man in, tries to pound it out. It's held at the point and thrown down and hits the outside of the net. Potts throws it around to the far side. Potter loses a handle on the Zamboni door or whatever it was. The boys are all tied up. From the high point, firing shot, scooped away by Tyler. to bring on Nolan, Ivany, and Ferrara, backed up by Darlene and Mizzle. From the high slot, Rebels fire a shot, doesn't make it on net. Oh, it's banging out front. Tyler's got to cover up. I don't want to jinx things, but the Hornets have not gotten a penalty, which is a refreshing change. Nolan off the draw, comes away to Darlene, who sends it over to Mizzle. Mizzle paddles it up to Ferrara, just beyond his reach. As now Ferrara tries to punch out, he gets out. The Rebels contain at the red line and throw it right back up. Mizzle does the same. Ferrara comes away, tries to bring it out front. Swept aside, and the Rebels tied up on the wall as they look to exit the zone. Now with speed, thrown up all the way down. Darlene will be there to meet his man. Rebels from the corner, looking. Tied up on the wall. Sent back behind the cage. Mizzle shovels it up to the near side. Ivany. Now, he's got speed. He's rolling. Ivany. All in. Can he fire it? Oh, and he fires wide. Mizzle from the line holds the zone. Ferrara from the point. Looking in. Driving into the slot. Firing shot. Ivany sends it wide. Or Nolan sends it wide. Ivany on the wall. Circles. Looks. Slides it over to Darlene. Darlene patiently now drives in, fires, hits traffic. Mizzle from the corner. Throws it behind to Nolan. The boys are all kind of tied up. No one's really got possession. Mizzle slides it down. Nolan pursues. It's flung around to the near side. Darlene holds the line and fires it right back down. Legged aside of the Rebel tender. Now dangerous stick handling in the slot is swiped away. Finally exiting the zone. Darlene looks up from the backside, sliding up the wall, chipped into the zone by Ivany. Champlin Park once again will need to break out. Disrupted right there and thrown. We should get an icing here, and we do. With 9:46 on the clock. Both teams just slapping at it. Not a lot of possession hockey. As Bergmeyer, Kurvita, and Wilkins roll on with Bauer and Helmer. Bergmeyer off the draw, gets it back to Bauer. Bauer fires a looping shot on net. And it's contained by the Rebel tender. And once again into the breach, Bergmeyer. From the corner, Kurvita pressed into the glass as Bergmeyer comes in to help out. And we got something. Cross check. On who? I don't know. Looks like Bergmeyer is going to go. So I did jinx us. So the Rebels will be on the power play at 9:34. Down 2 goals. Off the draw, Rebels hold from the circle. Looking to cross, right from the other circle, back to the point. Now, sliding it down to the circle. Looking. No lanes available as they slide it down, looking for a rebound. Behind the cage. Down on the circle, back to the high point. Good puck movement by the Rebels as they can't really find any interior. One-time shot from the slot fails to connect. Champlin Park now driving in, trying to get a short-sider. Banging. Nothing. The Rebels contain the zone. Working on the near wall, now finally flung out of the zone. Some tired Hornets going to get a break. As Kurvita goes to the bench. Now countering is Champlin Park as they drive across the line. All the way around, a firing shot goes wide. Up on the wall, Wilkins tries to throw it out. It's contained. Now it's across the line. Now it's a roll time for Wilkins. Oh, no. Interference call. Disrupted a sure-to-be breakaway. And Helmer will now go to the box. And now the Hornets find themselves in familiar territory, being down a couple men for the next minute. So with 8:33 on the clock, this surely will test the mettle of Edina. Nolan pots and Potter to kill this off from the point. The Rebels cycle. Misconnection now. The Rebels still control. On the circle, trying to slide it back to the point. Now driving in. A shot swatted away by Tyler. Comes away to Potts. He tries to throw it out of the zone. It's contained. The Rebels hold at the point. Now driving in. Oh, here's a break for Nolan. Nolan time. Crosses the line. Release the Kraken, Nolan. Firing. Oh, and a save by the Rebel tender. Champlin Park comes storming back with numbers. 4-on-2 as they cross the line, driving in, swept aside, another rebound shot. Fired wide. 15 seconds left and the Hornets will get a man back. Driving in on the circle, legged away by Tyler. Another stick side by Tyler. Potts from the back end. Now flings it out, but it's saved like a baseball catcher. As they try to hold the zone and get something going. Now the Hornets get a man back. It's 5-on-4 hockey. Driving in on the dot, right in the slot, firing shot, hits traffic and goes over the net. Champlin is just buzzing as they roll it to the circle. Now back to the point, driving in, firing, and saved by Tyler. So Champlin will still have the man advantage for the next 47 seconds. 7:19 left in the second period. Hornets have withstood the damage so far. As Ferrara set to take the draw with Hester, Darlene and Mizzle. Darlene sliding around to Mizzle from the backside. Long stretch pass on the backhand side of Hester. And we get another icing. Hester on the draw. Comes back to Champlin Park at the point. They try to slide it into the slot, looking for a lane, nothing available. Now, working their way in, driving in on the circle. There's the one-time shot, no connection. Around the circle, back to the point. 20 seconds left in the man advantage. Now, high slot, firing shot, rebound. Finally, Champlin Park has broken the seal and have the deficit. Score is now 2-1. As was the case in many prior games, the penalties have cost us dearly. So Bergmeyer, Wilkins, Kurvita, Darlene, Mizzelt, with 6:48 left in the second. Working in, Bergmeyer tried to center it across. Now Kurvita on the dot. He can't find the handle. Sliding it down to Wilkins. Wilkins looks to center. Now, from the circle, back to the point to Darlene. Rolling in, firing, off the side of the net. All the way back to the point, Darlene punches it right back down. Kurvita in the far side. Bergmeyer picks it up, scoops it to Kurvita. Back to Bergie. Tried to center it out front, and Champlin Park comes back. Through the neutral zone. They're going to gain on the right side. Rolling in as Mizzle holds him to the outside. And falls to the ice. Darlene now with speed, rolling through the neutral zone. He gains on the right side. Walks around, stops short. Forgot the puck. And now working it up on the wall. Wilkins from the corner. Over skates. The puck is free. Mizzle now looking. Sliding back to Darlene. Darlene firing. Hits Wilkins. Darlene, nice job holding the zone as Wilkins now around the circle. Looking for an outlet. Back to Mizzle. Mizzle drives in. Mizzle. Oh, and Kurvita's in the way. A firing shot goes over. Sneaks out of the zone, and Darlene will have to reset. Champlin Park throwing it through. Here's a breakaway. Tyler's got to come out. Fires it up on the wall. Gutsy play as it comes up to Ewers. Ewers now trying to roll through the zone. He's picked off, and here comes Champlin. 3-on-1 situation. Rolling in. Down goes Darlene. The pass doesn't connect. Rolling from the backside, Champlin Park has got new life in their step as they have scored a goal. Hornets swarming, Dorsey throwing it up on the wall. Champlin Park tying it up, Ewers in to help out. Boys banging. Champlin now across the line and throwing it right back down into the corner. Darlene throws it up to Ewers. Ewers now from the corner, up to Dorsey. Just beyond Dorsey's reach, and Champlin's right in the slot. Out, throws it all the way down in the Champlin. Much needed line change. It's now Champlin for daylight. They're pinned back behind their net. Comes away to Hester. Hester slides it out front. Intercepted at the last second. And we get a slashing call against the Rebels. And at 4:19 in the second, Hornets will be on the power play. So we're going to have Ferrara, Dorsey, Potter, Potts, and Helmer. Ferrara on the draw. Puck slides back to Helmer at the point. Helmer looks all the way over. Back to Helmer. Helmer looks, wheels, deals around the circle, throws it down. Helmer back to Ferrara back to Helmer. Helmer on the dot. Firing shot. There it is. Did you see it? The rebound came and Ferrara banged it home. And the score is 3-1 with 4:02 on the clock. So Nolan, Ferrara, Ivany, Potts, and Potter. Off the draw, Ferrara from the backside pitches it over to Potts. Potts looks up ice. And Ivany just dishes it right back down into the Champlin Park end. From the corner, Ivany works it, wheels it, deals it, throws it beyond. Nolan tries to steal the puck away. It comes to Ivany. Ivany from the circle. Sets up shop, slides it across. Potter firing on net. And scooped up by the Rebel tender. Ferrara from the circle, wheels, deals, throws it down to Nolan. Nolan tried to connect in the slot, and Ivany now picks it up on the backside, throws it across to Potts. Potts from the point, all the way down, intercepted, and the Rebels punch it to the wall. Potts trying to hold the zone. Comes right down to Ferrara, drives in on the dot, tries to fire, and he just, oh, there it is on the line. And it's frothy. Nolan getting frothy. Throwing hands. But cooler heads prevail. With 3:14 remaining. Which brings in Bergmeyer, Kervita, and Wilkins, Darlene, and Mizzle. Off the draw, Kavita sends it back to Darlene. Across the line, a firing shot goes wide as Mizzle pinches up now in the corner, sweeps it around. It's knocked off the puck, and Champlin looks to exit the zone. Sliding it up, picked up by Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer sends it up the wall. Intercepted by Champlin, driving back the other way as they gain the line, slide it across, high slot, firing right out front, intercepted, thrown back to the point. D-to-D pass, now a point shot, a rebound, didn't happen. It's going to be a penalty on the Hornets. See what the call is. It's Mizzle showing the door. Hit from behind. It's going to be a 2-10. So Ewers and Dorsey, Bauer and Helmer. Dorsey on the draw, punch back to the Rebels as they now work their way and gain on the right side. Dorsey holds his man to the outside, tries to pick a pocket, now back to the point. They slide it down to the circle and drive in for a shot that goes over the net and out of the zone. Dorsey racing to pick up the puck, trying to slide it through. Dorsey working it. Oh, just blown away at the last second as he tortures his man and wastes valuable time in this penalty. Sliding up through the neutral zone, Rebels punch it up and gain the line. Working their way, stopping short at the point, looking. Back to the point again. No, another point shot into the slot, firing over the net. Hornets trying to work, keep their men to the outside. Helmer knocks it off the puck, Dorsey in, tries to snake it through, nothing doing. Now, up on the wall. Rebels send it back to the point. Driving in, working it around, intercepted by Bauer, who sends it out with less than a minute left in the man advantage. Rebels resetting from deep in their own zone. Hornets get a line change. Wilkinson Hester. Hester across the line, trying to work his way through. He's interfered with, but no call. Champlin now, trying to slide it out of the zone as they work their way, punch it down into the Hornet end. Helmer sliding it over to Bauer. Bauer looks up ice, pitches it up on the wall, gets it to Wilkins. Wilkins jamming it through. Wilkins, he's got Hester right out front. Slides it across, and Hester couldn't find the connection. Hester from the corner. Back to Wilkins behind the cage. Wilkins tied up on the door. Less than a minute to play in this period. 15 seconds left in the man advantage. We're going to get another penalty as a slash is being called against the Hornets. And Hester is going to the box. So once again, it's 5-on-3 hockey for the next 10 seconds. 49 seconds left in the period. As Nolan's on with Potter and Potts. From the slot, working it. Nice job by Nolan. Nolan slides it out of the zone, and that'll cash the penalty. Kavita out of the box. And Ivany on to replace him. So it's 5-on-4 hockey. Potts sliding across the line, looks for an option, whips on the pass. Champlin now, with less than 30 seconds to play, deep in their own end. Looking at options, bobbling the puck, and finally throwing it around to the near side. Champlin now, getting organized, sliding it up through the red line, gaining on the left side, rolling in. All the way out in front, can't find the connection on the pass as they drive in on the dot. A firing shot is legged aside by Tyler. 5 seconds to play. Working their way across, hot pass, and that's the end of the period. The Hornets up 3-1 and spending a lot of time in jail. Got to change that, boys. Okay, just about to start the third. And score remains 3-1. The Hornets will be shorthanded for the next 1 minute and 11 seconds. So Nolan, Ferrara, Helmer, and Bauer. And away we go. Helmer dealing with some sticky ice as Ferrara tries to throw it up on the wall. He pitches it up, gets it to Helmer, still banging on the line as the Rebels look to cross from the far side. Bauer throwing it up and over. Here's a foot race. Can Nolan get there? No, the goalie just pitches it up on the near side wall. Ferrara banging it right back down and holding the Rebels at bay. Now, starting their attack. Cross ice pass a bit too far, and Bauer will be there to pitch it up on the wall. Nolan jamming it up. Here's an opportunity as he rolls in. He's got Ferrara. Can he slide it across? He tries, but it's banged away. With 20 seconds left in the Champlin Park man advantage, they try to exit the zone. Ferrara knocks his man off balance, still rolling in the high slot, trying to center it down, and Potts will meet his man in the corner. Champlin working it on the wall. Nolan throwing it out of the zone. All the way down for an icing. Edina back at full strength. As Dorsey, Hester, and Ewers roll on. Potts and Potter. Dorsey on the drop. Puck sent over to Potts. Potts now from behind the net. Looks up ice. He's going to take it himself as he wheels through the slot. He's picked off. And the Rebels pitch it right back down in the Edina end. Potter from behind the cage. Trying to slide it up. Gets it to Hester. Hester across to Dorsey. Picked off and the Rebels counter back the other way. Waiting for onside. Driving in. Sliding it across. A one-time shot. There's some sticky ice out there. Ewers now rolling up through the red line. Gains the line. Pitches it around his guy. Hester out front. Champlin Park blows it tired. Sent out front. Split the D as Potts throws it in on net. From behind, Ewers rolls around the circle, looks, gets it to Hester. Hester driving in, looks across his high slot. There's the rebound, banging! And saved by the Rebel tender with 12:59 on the clock. So Helmer and Dahlin in, exchanging D. Dorsey on the drop, sent to the wall to Hester. Back to Dahlin at the point, drives it down. Ewers, first man back behind the cage, sweeps around, tries to center. He gets pressed into the wall as Dorsey in there working as well. Right out front, Dahlin now driving it on the circle, a firing shot. Hits traffic as the Rebels look to counter. Pinned deep in their zone, chased by Ewers. Rebels just can't find any daylight. Now they slide it rink wide to the near side. Up on the wall, working across the line. Rebels with numbers, 3-on-2. Whiff shot as Dahlin tries to punch it around the net. He gets there, sliding it up to Hester on his backhand side. And the Rebels contain in their zone. A pitching shot intercepted by Dahlin. Dahlin's going to gain the line. He bangs it all the way down. And Hester meets it in the corner. Kervita now on the circle, chipping it down to Hester. Hester overskates. Kervita in to pick it up. Comes back to Hester. Hester right out front. There's a bang by Bergmeyer. Off target. Short side stuffer turned away. As Kervita works it. Champlin sends it up the wall. Dahlin picks it up at the red line. Slides it up to Helmer. Helmer gains the line. He drives in. Helmer fires! That's saved by the Rebel tender. And the Champlin Park fans want more effort out of their boys. And they're voicing accordingly. And he's getting kicked out. I didn't think he was that bad, but apparently the refs thought otherwise. And he's out. So as we wait for that to get cleared up, I'm not sure what it means. Is it a bench penalty or what? I don't know. And it will be a bench penalty. It's a note to the Hornet Nation. Don't get kicked out or your team will be penalized. So, Ivy Bergmeyer, Wilkins backed up by Ewers and Darlene. Off the draw, comes back to Ewers at the point. Slides it over to Darlene. Darlene looks. Patience, drives in. Shot sails wide. Ewers picks it up on the wall, wheels in, slides it over to Darlene. Darlene from the point, loses the handle, but Ivany is right there to pick it up. Ivany from the high slot, sends it down. Ewers drives in, fires over the net. Ivany picks it up at the point. He's knocked off the puck, and here's an opportunity as Champlin now rolls in. It's a 2-on-3 situation. Down to his belly. Darlene forces his man and now picks up the puck. A pitch pass up to Ivany, skips his stick. Now Champlin driving in. Puck gets loose in the corner as Darlene picks it up. Darlene wheels, deals, looks up ice, looks for a long stretch pass. Drops it off. Ivany can't quite find the handle, and the Hornets have to reset. I don't know what's going on in this power play, but it's not very effective, boys. Darlene from the backside, up to Wilkins. Wilkins gains the line, drives in. He sends it down to the back wall. Ferrara picks it up, curls around. Wilkins in on it. Both teams driving up front. There's Bergmeyer firing the shot, leg to side, still trouble, banging, and it's in. I don't even know who scored. Bergmeyer got one of the 17 shots that were banging away. Hornets in the power play at 10:23 of the third. Score is now 4-1. Roll on. Off the draw, puck comes back, and Potter regroups in his own end. Slides it behind the cage to Potts. Potts sneaks past his stick, and Ivany pitches it out, and it hits the ref right on the line, and we get an offsides. So we get a face-off just outside the Hornet end. As Nolan takes the draw. Champlin Park comes away and dumps it down into the Hornet end. Potter from behind the net rings it up the far side. Ivany chips it up to Nolan. Now it's a foot race. Nolan's got Ferrara rolling in. Can he get it? Swept aside by the Rebel D. From the near side, boys tie up on the wall as Nolan comes away behind the net. Trying to center out front. He's tied up. The Rebels punch it up on the wall. Intercepted by Nolan in the high slot. He wheels around, throws it out front to Ivany. Into Ivany's skates as Ivany deals in the corner. Slides it all the way back to Nolan. Nolan out front to Ferrara. There it is. Oh, and Ivany missed on that shot too. A lot of missing. Back to Potter at the point. A firing shot into traffic. As the Rebels punch it around to the far side and look for daylight. Up on the wall, overskated. Nolan tried to center it. Now it's in Ivany in the slot. Firing, no fire. Yes, now firing. Did you see that? Pure patience as Ivany connects. The game is now blowing open 5-1 in favor of the Hornets at 9:09. So Dorsey, Hester, Ewers, Bauer, Helmer. Champlin banging it up and all the way down into the Hornet end. Helmer last man back. Slides it up to Dorsey. Dorsey looks, turns, Bergs. Sends it up to Ewers. Ewers up to Hester. Hester now. He gains the line and drives in. A shot sticked away as they try to center it again. Dorsey takes a whack at it, trying to toe drag around his man. In the slot, Ewers pokes it over to Hester. Back to Helmer at the point. Helmer fires on net. It's trapped away, but left. Now Champlin Park on their heels as the Hornets press on the attack. Ewers bangs his man out. Dorsey trying to work it around. Ewers, can he get there? No, Champlin comes away. But Ewers is persistent. Thrown up on the near side. Champlin just can't get out of their own end. So now they wheel through the red line. One man against two, trying to sneak his way through, and he's tied up. Bauer retrieves the puck in the corner and now cycles up. Bangs it up the wall to Hester. Hester leaves to Dorsey. Dorsey slides across the blue line, gains. Now looks all the way around. Driving around the cage, looking for an outlet pass. Back to Helmer. Helmer fires. A high shot trapped away by the Rebel tender. Then we switch them up. Bergmeyer, Wilkins, Kavita come on with Darlene and Potts. Tied up off the draw. Champlin cycles around the far side. Overskating it, Potts fires a shot, stick to side, right out front. Bergmeyer couldn't make the turn. From behind the net, Wilkins tries to stuff it. Champlin comes away as they try to bang up the boards. They find room, and now they're sliding through the red line. Up through the slot, here's an opportunity. Just a bit too far as Champlin can't quite make the connection. Kavita ties up his man. From the corner, Champlin sends it back to the point. A firing shot, legged away, banging, nothing. Comes back to the point again. And a whiff shot. Here's Kavita breaking through. He's got Wilkins. Can he see him? He's going to take a shot. No, Wilkins fires. It's in. No, it's not in. How could that not go in? Bergmeyer from the corner. Wheels up the wall. Slides it back down. I could swear that went in, but it didn't. Darlene on the wall. Sends it all the way down to Wilkins. Wilkins throws it into the corner for Kavita. Champlin pinned down in their zone. They can't get out. Now, long stretch cross-ice pass, sliding through the neutral zone. Champlin rolls down and just punches it down for a line change. Kavita on the far wall. Picks it up. Works through the red line. Runs into the ref. Puck free. Comes away to Darlene. Darlene fires it all the way down. Champlin leaves the puck because they're running out of time with 6:20 on the clock. Held up on the blue line. Champlin now working their way down. Ferrara trying to hold up his man. Still working through. He's a tall guy. Comes away to Ferrara. Ferrara now stops short behind the net. Looks up ice. Up to Nolan. Nolan working through. Against two guys. He's got Ivan. He's streaking into the slot. Fired out front. Ivan, he looks around the circle. All the way around. Sliding it back to Potter. Potter on the wall. Fires it across. Nobody home. Helmer on the far side corner. Wheels, deals. Throws it down to Ferrara. Ferrara cycling back through the corner. Kicking it. He's thrown off the puck. Champlin dishes it out. It's picked up by Potter in the Hornet end. Looking up ice. Wheeling, dealing. He's going to take it himself. Cross the line. Pitches it all the way down. Champlin from the backside. Pitches it around the net and looks up. Long stretch pass, hits traffic. There's no one on a turnaround, nothing. Ivany picks it up. Dipsy Doodles looks for space. Slides it all the way across to Ferrara. Now, Ivany from the slot. Drops it to Potter. Potter fires. Goes wide. Elmer on the far side. Wheels, deals. Leaves it to Ivany. Ivany drives in on the circle. All the way around, centers the pass, and it's covered up by the Rebel tender. Just under 5 to play. And a score of 5-1. So Dorsey, Ewers, Hester on with Mizzle and Darlene. Mizzle's out of the box. Off the draw, Champlin from behind the net. Sliding it back on their end line as they poke it up for the breakout. Rolling through the neutral zone. And they pull themselves off sides. Tied up off the draw, comes back, and Champlin dumps it into the hornet end. Mizzled from behind in the corner. Throws it up just beyond Hester. Now from the point, a firing shot is waffled away. Ewers contests his man on the far side. Slides around to Mizzled. Mizzled up to Hester. Hester chips it up to Ewers. Ewers now works it and leaves it to Dorsey. Dorsey across the line. Stops short, looks. Fires it in the slot to Hester. He loses it in his skate. Darlene picks it up, and he fires. A clanker. Good tone on the clank, and it goes into the webbing. Dorsey on the drop. Ref squaring things up, waiting for something. And play resumes. Hester on the wall, throws it back to Bauer, who slides it to Helmer. Helmer looks, pitches it down into the Champlin end. Hester disrupts play, gets it to Ewers. Ewers works around, centers out front. Oh, and Dorsey just missed on that connection. Hester battles his man on the outside. Back to Bauer at the point. Firing shot hits traffic, comes to Helmer on the circle, fires. Fires wide. Hester from the end line sends it to Bauer at the point. A firing shot tipped, but blocked away by the Rebel tender. So we're under 4 minutes. Helmer holds the line. He fires. And that is saved again by the Rebel tender. With 3:38 to play. So Bergmeyer, Wilkins, Kervita, Bauer, Helmer. Wilkins ties up his man. He's behind the cage. He tries to center. Working it. Battling his man. Look at this battling going on. Now Kervita. Kervita tries to punch it home from the short side. And now we're going to get something. Cross check is the call. Champlin Park is not doing themselves any favors late in this game. With 3:21 on the clock and a 4-goal deficit at 5-1, Champlin is digging themselves a hole. Ferrara off the draw, back to Potts at the point, wheeling across the line, sending it, and it slips away. There's a foot race. Helmer's got to get back. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Sliding it across. A weak pass, and Helmer recovers. From the corner. Looking. He skates it up, slides it up to Ferrara. Ferrara across the line. Stopping short, looking across. Drives in on the circle. Potter's stick was tied up. Now it's Potts from the corner. Wheels it, throws it all the way around. Potter throws it to Potts. Potts around the circle. Back to Helmer at the point. Helmer deals. Down to Potts. Potts sends it across, but it's a bit too far. Dorsey from the point. Sends it down to Ferrara. Ferrara right in the slot. Just got tipped away before Potts could do with a one-time. All the way back. Helmer on the wall. Deals. Throws it up to Potts. Potts back to Helmer. Headman pass disrupted. And now it's Potts rolling up, gaining the line. Walking across, he loses the handle, and Champlin picks it up. Stood up there by Ferrara, Dorsey in to stop it, and it's thrown out of the zone, and Mizzled will be last man back. 2 minutes on the clock. Mizzled working his way around. It's picked up by Ferrara. Ferrara now through the neutral zone. He gains the line on the right, wheels across the circle, slides it, loses it, on his belly. Working it. Champlin Park drives it out. Dorsey now picks it up, slides around his man, looks for daylight, works his way across the line, leaves it to Ferrara. Ferrara drives in, firing shot. There's the rebound, skips over Mizzled's stick. Mizzled from the wall, wheels around the circle, looks, slides it out front. Ferrara couldn't find the connection. Champlin Park penalty expires with 1:19 on the clock. Boys banging in the corner, trying to come away. Puck slides back to Nolan. Nolan fires it. It's open in the front. Slides across the crease. No one there to punch it home. Nolan tries to hold the line. Sneaks all the way down. And with 1 minute and 1 second, we have an icing. Nolan Ferrara Ivany in. Ivany trying to hold his own, slides it to Darlene, who punches it down deep into the end. Around the back of the cage, Champlin Park. The seconds waning, picked off by Nolan. Nolan on the dot, tries to center it in the slot, tries to get it down to Ferrara. Champlin now driving back the other way. Potts does a good job holding his man to the outside. Even though he interfered, now he slides it up to Nolan. Nolan loses it in his skates. Finally crosses the line. He just punches it down, and Ferrara meets his man. 30 seconds on the clock. Ferrara working it in the corner. Leaves it to Ivany. Ivany sliding it back to Darlene. Darlene rushes in. Fires. Saved by the Rebel tender. Punching it all the way up on the wall. We'll get an icing. With 11 seconds left. Darlene didn't want that line change. But Dorsey, Hester, and Ewers roll on with Helmer and Bauer. Off the draw, Champlin from the backside tries to throw it out of the zone. Through the slot areas, they now slide it up. Helmer, last man back. Chipped into the slot, firing across. That's it. Game 1 is in the books, and it goes to the Hornets. 5-1. Over the Champlin Park Rebels. Next game is sometime later in the morning tomorrow. I think it's like 10:30ish. So be there, be square, and enjoy your Friday.